camera. What a powerhouse of a camera. And I guess it should be for $22,000 for the body only. About $6 grand for the lens. Been shooting with it for the last couple days, and I just wanted to go over this, make this a first look video. The review is going to be coming the next week or two. So for now, I just wanted to show you some of the features and controls and the display of the Leica S2. The first thing you do when you're going to pick up an S2 is you're going to want to turn it on. So you have two selections. This is your normal on, power on, when you have a normal lens attached to the camera. But some of the lenses you can get with an optional leaf shutter built into the lens. So if this is the case, you want to turn the switch to CS, which it's now telling me lens without central shutter connected because I just have the standard 70 Summit. So we're going to leave it on the normal on. Here's the humongous viewfinder. Here's the lens cap to a Panasonic 21.7 lens, and here's the S2 viewfinder. You can see how huge it is, and it's so beautiful when you look through this viewfinder. It's pretty freaking amazing. It is the nicest viewfinder that I have ever looked through in my life, and the diopter on it, which you can turn, feels just as nice as the aperture ring on a Leica lens. It's pretty amazing. So that's adjustable in case you wear glasses. Also, here's your AE lock button right here, easily located in a great spot for your thumb. And you also have your control dial, your single control dial. Now here's your organic color LED display at the top. It's very nice. And as you can see, let me turn it back on here. When I use my control dial, that's what changes the aperture. I'm in aperture priority mode. But let's say I want to switch to program mode. I just push in the control dial. Now I'm in program mode. Again, aperture priority. If you want to go in manual, you just set your shutter speed to the desired speed. And it has a bulb mode as well. But I've been testing it out in aperture priority mostly. I found the metering on the S2 excellent. Okay, you can see the inside where the shutter is. I'm going to open it up. There's a shot of the sensor if you can kind of see it. But the camera is very, very robust. I mean, you could not complain about the build quality of this camera. In my experience, it exceeds the build quality of the Nikon D3 series of cameras. This is also weatherproofed. It also, when you hold it, there's not one part on this camera that feels cheap. You're not going to have any squeaky battery doors. You're not going to have any hollow feeling body like you do with some of the cameras these days. This thing feels like you're holding a solid piece of steel. It's quite amazing, actually. So the Leica S2 does not disappoint in regards to build, quality, or feel, ergonomics. Also, it's one of the thing that I really like about the S2, which is the same with most Leica cameras, I mean all Leica cameras I should say, is its simplicity. The camera is simple. There's not a gazillion menu items to scroll through. But again, we got to keep it real here. This is a $22,000 body. You're going to spend $28,000 just for a camera. So the only people that are really going to be buying this are pros who make a load of cash with their photography. If you're a landscape shooter who makes a lot of money from your photography, this could be an amazing tool to have in your collection, your main tool. If you do some high-end portraits in a studio, this would be an amazing camera. Or if you're just rich and you love Leica, why not? If I was a millionaire, I'd probably buy one, but I'm not. So there's no way I will ever be able to buy this camera. Leica was kind enough to send me this camera for review, so I'm in the process of reviewing it now. And we can see the size difference. So you can see the Leica S2 is pretty large. It's heavy, it's robust, but again, it is smaller than a Nikon D3 camera. It's shorter than a Nikon D3. And it actually is much better, well, I don't want to say much better built, but it is better built than a Nikon. Let me show you also the battery, how the battery works on the S2. If you want to take the battery out, you flick that metal switch, and the battery is not just going to come out. You have to push it in, and then it comes out. And then you just slip it back in. Okay, I wanted to show you the menu of the S2. You have 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, on each corner. It's very simple, very Leica-like. You have your camera menu up here, which brings up your drive mode, which you have single, continuous, self-timer, 2-second self-timer, 12 seconds. Your focus mode, AF single, AF continuous, manual focus. Exposure metering, multi-field, which is kind of like matrix, center weighted, and spot. The exposure on the S2 so far I've been finding has been really good. I have no complaints. Exposure compensation, exposure bracketing, slow sync, flash sync, mirror mode, mirror up mode. Now that's it for the camera menu. Very simple. Now if I want to keep going through the other menus, I just keep scrolling. So now I'm in the image settings. You scroll with the wheel, the dial. So right now I'm at ISO 160. You can go all the way up to 1250, which is not very, I guess I can't say it's very good, because most cameras these days at least go up to 3200, and a lot of them go up to 6400, and a couple of them go up to 100,000 and more. So the S2 only goes up to 1250, but remember, this is not a 35mm system. The sensor is humongous. It's more like medium format. So this is what this camera is going up against, the medium format crowd, but in an SLR style form function. I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. It's an SLR style camera, so it looks smaller. It is smaller than a 35mm Nikon D3S, like I've already said, and it's not big and huge like the medium format bodies have been in the past. I mean, there are some new medium format bodies that have slimmed down some, but still, ergonomically and looks-wise, the S2 wins hands down, in my opinion. ISO 160 is the base. File format, you got your DNG and JPEG choices. White balance seems spot on to me so far. Contrast, sharpness, and saturation for your JPEGs. Now we are in the setup menu. You can set up your data storage options, image numbering, format the memory card, sensor cleaning, which is if you clean it yourself. This pops up the mirror so you have access to the sensor, and then you can reset everything. The playback menu, auto review time, your histogram, how you want it to show up, auto power off, your custom functions, your AE/AF lock is set to AE lock. You can set it however you want. The zoom lock, date, time, language, and firmware. And there we go, we're all done. That was it. That was every menu option in the Leica S2. It's very simple. Camera. Now, is it worth $22,000 for the body? That all depends on what you want out of a camera. First of all, if you have that kind of money to spend and you're looking at cameras in this price range, I would definitely take a look at the S2. But wait for my review, which will be out soon in the next few days to a week or two, and I will have tons of image samples. I'm about to head off on a trip, and I'm taking the S2 with me. So in that review I will have tons of samples, my experience with the camera, full-size downloads, as well as some comparisons with the M9 and even the Pentax K7. I don't know if I mentioned, I think I did, but I'm shooting this video with the K7. That is a great little DSLR for about $1,000. It's amazing actually what this DSLR can do for $1,000. And to be honest, I like it better than the Canon 7D that I had here for a while. So be sure to check back for the review of the Leica S2 at stevehufpphoto.com. I hope you enjoyed this first quick look video, and thanks for watching.